Glendale students. My name is Mrs. Ahlstrand. Some of you may have seen me in your classrooms or in the hallways of Glendale Elementary. I'm what's called a peer coach, and I'm here to support teachers as well as each and every one of you. We know that this month is I Love to Read month, which is one of my very favorite months of all because I absolutely love reading. But you know what? Not everyone loves reading, and that's okay. A lot of it is because they haven't found that just right book. And the book that I want to share with you for Books Can Change the World, which is our theme this month, is called My Very Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World. And this book is written by Malcolm Mitchell, and it is based on a true story of Malcolm's life and struggling to find his favorite book. So let's dive in and uncover Malcolm's reading experience. Hi, I'm Henley, and this is a story about finding my very favorite book in the whole wide world. Reading isn't as easy as it sounds. And reading can be hard, you know. Once upon a time, everyone thought that I hated to read, but that's just not true. In some books, the words are too big, and the sentences are long, and there are just way too many pages. It goes on and on and on and on. In other books, the pictures have zero to do with cool things I like or what's going on inside of me. I do try, but some books are just so giant that if I stood on them, I would turn into a giant. Other books are so boring that I'd rather use them as pillows. When I'm supposed to be reading homework, well, I'd rather be playing football in the backyard. And when I'm asked to read the cookbook to help make dinner, well, I would rather see how many grapes I can fit into my mouth. Once, I even took a wagon full of books to the swimming pool to find out how well they could swim. Not very. When I tried to read books about dinosaurs, they made my brain hurt, so I gave the books back to the dinosaurs. I've tried reading books about mountains and pickles and aliens and monsters, and cats chasing mice and mice chasing cats. I've even found a book about cats chasing mice up a mountain while aliens eat pickles with monsters. But none of those made reading any easier or more fun. But all that changed when Mrs. Joy gave the worst homework assignment ever. Find your very favorite book in the whole wide world and bring it to school tomorrow. It can be a book about anything. Just make sure you love it because you'll be sharing it with the class. Well, the school bell sounded like 100 horns blowing my ear. Think about the yucky homework assignment that I just got. Gave me a super headache and my hands sweaty. On the way home from school, I stopped by the mighty library, hoping to find any book that would be my very favorite. My friends went into the library ahead of me. When it comes to finding books, I'm not so fast. Inside, there was a nice man sitting behind a jumbo-sized desk. I asked him if he could help me find my very favorite book in the whole wide world. He showed me books about science, about adventure, and squishy animals. He flipped through the pages of books about flags, farms, and holidays. He'd found plenty of books with twisty big words, sentences as long as my legs, and pictures tangled in and about the pages. It gave me the heebie-jeebies. When I saw my friends in the middle of the library having fun and reading, I felt more lost than ever. The next place I tried was Mrs. Rackley's bookshop. Maybe she could help me find my favorite book. Mrs. Rackley did what she does best. She brought piles and piles of books. I looked and I looked and I looked. But I couldn't call any of them my very favorite book in the whole wide world. All of those pages and all of those words made my eyes tired. I realized it was going to take a book miracle to find my favorite book in the whole wide world. I grew a sad face and I stomped all the way home. Mama was unloading the dryer and she could tell that I was having a crummy day. I told her all about the worst homework assignment ever. The librarian and Mrs. Rackley tried their best to help me find a book, but it was no use. I'll never find my very favorite book in the whole wide world. With a warm voice as warm as rolls from an oven, Mama said, "Henley, sometimes the best stories can be found from inside ourselves." After a sweet kiss on my forehead, Mama's words lit something up inside me. That's when I had a brilliant idea. The next morning, I could hardly wait for my turn to share my very favorite book in the whole wide world. I stood proud as all eyes in the reading circle stared straight at me. Everyone thinks I hate to read, but that's not true. Yeah, sometimes words are too big and some sentences are too long, but that's not my biggest challenge. Before today, I just hadn't found a book that I wanted to read. I hadn't found the words or the pictures or the pages or the sentences or the subjects that showed me. So last night, I wrote a book. It's called My Very Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World. It's a book about a big, fat, bumpy journey to finding the perfect book. My book has words, it has pictures and pages that show me, and that show you me. When I started reading my book out loud for everyone to hear, I struggled a little bit. But soon my words began to flow. The pictures I drew danced off the pages. Everyone can have a very favorite book in the whole wide world, even if they have to write it. When I was done telling my story to all of my classmates, they clapped and they cheered. And my teacher gave me a gold star on my homework. And that's the truth. Boys and girls, have you found your very favorite book in the whole wide world? I hope if you haven't had a chance yet, you will soon. Glendale has a fantastic media center, and Miss Quinn is waiting to help you find your very favorite book in the whole wide world. Keep reading, keep learning, and being the best that you can be, because books really can change the world that we live in. Have a great day, students.